A massive win for Justin Baldoni, as the judge has just ruled on Today, I'm Not Your Dragon Day, that Taylor Swift's texts to Blake Lively are irrelevant.
First in the morning with entertainment.
Surprise, surprise.
This is a win, one would say, for Justin Baldoni's team. They now have access to private text messages between Blake Lively and Taylor Swift.
What's happening, to the extent you can tell us, with Taylor Swift? Because you wanted to get the text messages between Blake Lively and Taylor.
I think the judge has made it very clear that, third parties need to be directly relevant to claims. And we think certain third parties are directly relevant, but it's just whether or not you need that evidence in addition to what you have already. There's more video evidence. I mean, there's video of this is a film shoot.
Like Lively's team was coming out there trotting out a win for feminists. They were like, we did this for women everywhere. Blech. Literally, it made me want to throw up when I read that. Don't worry, today I've got you covered, and it's going to make perfect sense. I can't believe you guys missed. It was so obvious what was happening there.
Justin Baldoni just scored a major win. Justin just got what he wanted.
And today's news, that's why we always are patient and we wait. We get nervous. We are wondering what's happening. But today's notice, to me, proves they're getting what they wanted, which was, we're allowed to get those texts. Blake instructed Taylor to delete the text messages, and Taylor drops off just that text. It's going to be a massive, no towards this case. That's malice. It's everything.
A federal judge has officially granted him legal access to certain private text messages between Blake Lively and Taylor Swift.
So if that exists, if there is a text message that they go and get, and maybe where my speculative head goes, Kim, is Taylor's probably trying to stay out of it. We didn't give him anything. We're not going to give him anything. The judge is going to order it, and if they do, we will not stop you. We will hand deliver it to you at that point, because now they have to give them to him. And if that text is there,
dealing a major blow to Lively's legal strategy.
Okay, guys, there was definitely online panic. Like I said, Blake was out there doing the absolute most, claiming victory. Oh, I've been vindicated. I'm a wonderful person. Just forget about everything that you guys read. Her PR agents were so desperate to make the public believe that they really had delivered a victory. And the headlines were very confusing because it said the lawsuit was dropped. Good job on her PR firm. Obviously, that is not true.
Despite fierce objections from Lively's team, the court ruled that Swift's messages, specifically those tied to the film It Ends With Us, may be used as evidence in the actress's ongoing harassment lawsuit against Baldoni. And suddenly, the world's biggest pop star is being pulled into a courtroom drama she never signed up for.
Because everyone keeps trying to say Justin dragged Taylor in, and how dare he? And no. Blake did all of that. And that's why Taylor's not supporting her anymore. You can tell. I mean, obviously, speculative, assuming that's my opinion, but from everything that we're seeing, it's becoming clearer and clearer that Taylor Swift is crying out to the world, no, I am not your dragon, which is so fitting today, given that we've literally just made the theme song for Kim.
This is no longer just a story about a toxic film set. It's about power, reputation, and who gets to control the narrative when the cameras stop rolling.
All right, and surprise, we're going to talk Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. We have another update.
Well, Taylor Swift's private text to Blake Lively might soon be revealed in court.
A judge, quote, said this: the requests for messages with Swift regarding the film and this action. His team now has access to private text messages and all the messages.
He's merely saying that Lively's camp must provide them to Baldoni's team, who will then look them over and decide whether they want to submit them as evidence.
That's right. A U.S. District Court judge has ruled that Blake Lively's private messages with Taylor Swift may be exposed in court in the ongoing fallout from the film It Ends With Us.
What's happening, to the extent you can tell us, with Taylor Swift? Because there was some reporting that you wanted to get the text messages between Blake Lively and Taylor Swift, in this case via document subpoena to get her texts and possibly even a deposition, and then that her father allegedly came to you and said, I will tell you what's in the text, and the reason I'll tell you is because Blake Lively's threatening my daughter Taylor Swift that if she doesn't speak out on Blake Lively's behalf, that Blake Lively's going to retaliate in some way. So tell us what you can.
Those are things to see, what in addition to what we know already, and then to move forward and obtain that discovery. There's a short leash on how far we can go with discovery. I think the judge has made it very clear that, third parties need to be directly relevant to claims. And we think certain third parties are directly relevant, but it's just whether or not you need that evidence in addition to what you have already.
They're not just celebrity friends. Blake and Taylor are real-life confidants, two of the most private stars in Hollywood, known for guarding their inner circles. But now, their text conversations about the set, the lawsuit, and the working environment could become critical. Evidence.
Are you able to say whether you believe or have reason to allege that Blake Lively threatened Taylor Swift if she did not come out and speak on Blake's behalf?
The truth is, I don't think I should speak on it. I think we should wait and see, have the evidence. There's more video evidence. I mean, there's video of this is a film shoot. There's filming of the film shoot.
According to court documents reviewed by The Times, Judge Louis J. Lamond denied Blake Lively's motion to exclude her communications with Swift from discovery. Why? Because Lively had already told the court that Taylor knew about what was happening on set, including her concerns and complaint.
For Taylor? I mean, honestly, she was with me on this experience the whole time throughout it. So, she really lived with me. Yeah, she was, she's a person who shows up for you, and I'm so grateful to have that love and that support. But
the judge has ruled officially on what is going on with this protective order when it came to the text with Taylor Swift, and there was one lovely quote here. Deadline covered it as well, but just saying, given that Lively has represented that Swift had knowledge of the complaints or discussions about the working environment in the film, among other issues, the requests for messages with Swift regarding the film and this action are reasonably tailored to discover information that would prove or disprove Lively's harassment and retaliation claims.
Which means those texts could either support Lively's claims or undermine them entirely. Let's rewind. In December 2024, Lively filed a federal lawsuit accusing Justin Baldoni, it ends with, us co-star and director, sexual harassment and retaliation. She said Wayfarer Studios fostered a toxic set and then tried to destroy her image when she spoke up. But on the same day, Baldoni fired back with a massive countersuit targeting Blake, her husband Ryan Reynolds, and even the New York Times for reporting on the story. That countersuit dismissed, but Baldoni's team is still pressing hard, looking for anything that can discredit Lively's allegation. In February, Baldoni's lawyers demanded to see all communications between Lively and Taylor Swift related to the movie and the legal battle. They even subpoenaed Swift, but later backed down after her attorneys dismissed it as a fishing expedition. Still, the judge agreed. If Swift was aware of complaints, her texts could reveal the truth or expose contradiction.
And that's why it's coming in. And to me, that's the most important thing of all of this, because I hear all the time people say, Justin dragged her into this. No, I think Blake did, in starting with that dragon text. Calling her, little monster type thing of hers and that type of thing. And no, she has been brought into this by Blake this whole time, and it is completely reasonable for Justin to want to know her side of the story.
The requests for messages with Swift are reasonably tailored to discover information that would prove or disprove Lively's harassment and retaliation claims. It's not about celebrity. It's about whether Swift was a witness, even indirectly, to the alleged misconduct. On-screen graphic. Taylor Swift's text may be admissible.
Blake instructed Taylor to delete the text messages. So if that exists, if there is a text message that they go and get, and maybe where my speculative head goes, Cam, is like, yeah, Taylor's probably trying to stay out of it. We didn't give him anything. We're not going to give him anything. The judge is going to order it, and if they do, we will not stop you. We will hand deliver it to you at that point, because now they have to give them to him. And if that text is there and Taylor drops off just that text, it's going to be a massive, no towards this case. Like, yes. that's malice. I don't see how that doesn't change the whole everything, because it goes to show that there is malice and that she was knowingly doing things wrong, and all that defamation that the judge threw out so easily and quickly. To me, all of this could be massively important in an appeal, which makes me wonder, is that why Baldoni's team, everybody has been getting nervous since this was thrown out, why they're all sort of sitting me like, no, just wait, guys.
But Blake's team isn't backing down. In a sharply worded statement, her rep accused Baldoni of trying to weaponize Taylor's fame to manipulate public opinion. Baldoni's desire to drag Taylor Swift into this has been constant, an effort to influence the singer's fan base. And they might be right, because Swift's fans, the Swifties, are no ordinary fan base. They've taken on Ticketmaster, ex-boyfriends, and music executive. Now, Blake's legal team is warning Baldoni is playing with fire.
Where they're dancing, and everyone can judge for themselves. Again, we're dealing with people who look at a scene and say, the sky is not blue. What do you mean? That blue is not blue.
Right.
And I think that will forever be the case. But, fortunately, she doesn't get to be a juror along with being, the plaintiff. So we'll have different people that'll be the jurors, and hopefully they'll be able to see the sky's blue.
Whether or not those texts will ever go public remains to be seen. But if they do, they could become the next bombshell in a case that's already shaken the entertainment world. Because this isn't just about Blake and Justin anymore. It's about trust, power, and the price of speaking up. What did Blake tell Taylor? Will the messages surface? And why are so many people fighting to keep them sealed? This story is far from over, and the truth may just be buried in a text. Subscribe for more updates. This story isn't over. Not even close.
But it doesn't mean it's over. It doesn't mean Blake won. And getting these text messages is incredibly relevant given how much Blake brought Taylor into this conversation, not only in the text that we've seen in the lawsuits,